The World B-Boy Judges Committee. In 2013, a group of people came together to work on a new judging format and concept that would display the judges' decision in B-Boy battles in a more comprehensive way than in current breaking competitions. The committee came to existence in search for a system for the one-on-one World B-Boy Series competitions, which led to the Undisputed battle. The work group was led by Storm, DJ Renegade, Rockschrei, Dizzy, Neek and Lamine. Many others contribute to the goals of the committee's endeavor and are engaged in the many different tasks. At our first meeting in Berlin in 2013, we were to choose the format and the system for the upcoming Undisputed B-Boy World Series. Two presentations were made, the Hour and the Cozen system. Well, let me have a little word on competition formats. In breaking's young history, we have seen many different battle formats. Crew battles, one-on-ones, three-on-threes, and 7 to Smoke are all good examples of contests that most breakers are very familiar with. Each one of these formats utilize their own playing rules. Besides a probable time and round limit and a rule that physical contact with the opponent is not tolerable, it is very important to note that in any of these organized competitions, the dancers are usually free to perform breaking the way they feel like. It is up to each performer to decide how to express himself in the given time on the dance floor. B-Boy might be young, but is already very complex. Its broad vocabulary can easily be divided in smaller branches. Some competitions are organized for special smaller categories that are all part of the dance form. The most known are the longest power move, top rock battle or footwork battle. In a top rock battle, I would be called cheating if I went on the ground to do footwork. The same way I would lose in a footwork battle if I started flaring around doing power moves. Even though the frame of vocabulary is narrowed from the broad B-Boy realm into a small division, the participants are still free to express themselves within these limits of the category. Nobody tells anybody how a move has to be performed as long as it is part of that category. Of course, it would be best to draw an outline of what's legit and what not. The more specific that line is, the less room there will be for interpretation. Crossing that line can be looked at as a cheat, but it can also be regarded as an innovative way to widen the field. Cheating always brings more excitement to the game and can lead into controversy. The judges should be experts of the category and the decision needs to reflect whether someone was cheating or not. By seeing that the formats themselves can narrow the frame of performance, we suggest that the music for the entire round should be the same. Not just that the dancers dance to the same song, but that both sides are dancing to the same part of the song in a round. Most music pieces are composed with a build-up. Therefore, it would be unfair if one dancer gets the intro until the middle part of a verse, and then the second dancer gets to dance to the ending part into the chorus, which is the first climactic part of a song. If each performance has a set limit of time, it will also make it easier for the judges to decide. In a one-on-one breaking contest, economizing in general is part of the strategy. Due to breaking strong physical involvement, a solo of 1 minute is already pretty long, so a time limit regulation here is not necessary. In a crew contest, it can really be annoying if one crew decides to block the dance floor by performing too long. Strategically, it's okay if a crew wants to show how organized they are and the round leads into a great climactic end. But if it is just done to use all the time possible so the opponents can dance less, it will eventually lead into a sanction. Not just that it becomes impossible to memorize everything that was happening in one run, when it is too long, the dramaturgic arch gets ruined as well. I need to mention here again that the narrative should build a sort of a danced argument the other crew needs to cope with. If that narrative turns into a monologue in which dominance is shown through ignorance and not by having the better skills or argument, then the behavior should be sanctioned or there should be a time limit to begin with. Now back to the meeting in Berlin. After looking at the pros and cons, we decided that a round-for-round system would be best to use. Neek from the Ruggeds and Cozen explained the best-of-3 battle format, which seemed to be suited for our endeavor. Here's how it works. 2 breakers dance against each other in a battle of maximum 3 rounds. After each round, the judges give their results, which are made visible to the audience and the dancers. If a B-Boy wins the first 2 rounds, the battle is over because he already won the majority of rounds. The last round becomes redundant. In a traditional 3-round battle, even if one dancer won 2 rounds already, a 3rd round will be performed even though the losing dancer cannot win anymore with just that 1 round. Since the dancers have to household well with their vocabulary and power, They would all want to win a battle quickly in 2 rounds. That means the energy level should be higher than in a strict 3-round battle. If dancer A wins first round and then dancer B wins second round, they have to dance the 3rd round to get a final decision. By showing the results after each round, the audience can participate more than if the decision was hidden. If there is a tie after the first 2 rounds, there's even more suspense. We voted for the best of 3 format and the Cozen system. We also decided here to look for structured criteria and to apply it one day. The following day at the meeting in Berlin, we wrote down all relevant terms that describe breaking on a flip chart. We discussed what the terms meant and then started working on a hierarchical structure. We needed to decide by general consent on the most common principles for the basis of a judgment. All these terms are called criteria, and they are used for any kind of comparison. We use criteria plenty of times a day. Most of the time, we're not even thinking about it anymore. But if we raise a bit more awareness, we could easily influence our future by making more distinctive decisions every day. When we decide where to eat and what to eat, which toothpaste we buy, which persons we would like to hang out with, what movie to watch, which music to listen to, what moves to train, and a whole lot more. We always use criteria that are mostly part of our tacit behavior. The criteria we use for competitions should be ingrained by the judges. They need to be at an intuitive level.